Hi and welcome to Score Game. We're going to play another episode of Lucifer Within Us. But before we continue, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the support. You just watching my videos really means a lot, but if you really want to show your support even more, leave a like so I know you guys enjoy this series, and of course you can ask me anything you want in the comments. I reply to every single comment. Or you can even recommend games you think I should try in the future. Again, thanks a lot for the support. Let's solve some crimes. Okay, let's start with the flowers kit. A bundle of flesh blossoms, like that found on a grave. Why were they on the floor? Graveyard schedule. The record showed two notable entries for today, both explicitly authorized by Abbot Gregory. Funeral for Mother Miriam at sundown. Visit by Father Augustine, unrestricted access granted. Bloody liver. Found on a table with other entrails, still partially warm and moist. It appears mangled in some way, perhaps smashed? Ah. Miriam. Identified as Mother Miriam, there's a large incision down her stomach. Judging from the uneven coloring and chemical scent, she appears partially embalmed. And these muddy footprints. Found on the floor at the mortuary. Still wet, leads from the back exit of the mortuary to the embalming table. Ah. Surgical multi-tool. Found on the staircase between the mortuary and the grave. An Aether power tool for making incisions, applying preservatives and closing wounds. Okay, I think this is the murder weapon, right? The victim, a teenager youth aspiring to be a scholar. Raised in the church, he joined Augustine as his apprentice 8 months ago. The apprentice's youthful face is serene above his cleanly slit throat, with no bruising. However, an angry scar runs across his stomach. Okay, so this is the murder weapon. Newly appointed voice of Soph, scheduled to receive an Aether coronet implant at the workshop, murdered in the morning. What's this? Oh, this is one of these devil herbs. What is this? The devil's herb? I knew something nefarious is afoot. The abbey must be purified of its scent. I should dispose of any that find. Okay, that's like a collectible or something. Anything else here? Yes, there's nothing else here. Okay, here we're gonna uncover his lie that he wasn't sitting on the bench probably. Noble's grave. One. Wait, what? The immaculately maintained grave shows the genealogy of illustrious family. There isn't a blade of grass out of place around the stone. Oh, this might be a murder weapon. It's a lightweight blade, slices through the air to trim grass and chop weeds. Its sharp edge could easily injure someone. Okay. It doesn't look good for you, dude. It looks really bad for the embalmer and the grave tender, but we have nothing on the scholar. Like we don't have anything on him. He didn't lie with anything, so he might be the killer because, you know. Aether scanner. Let's see. What's this? portable ether-powered device for recording images and text. Okay. That doesn't help me. Anything else? A statue of Saint Walpurga, the founder of the abbey, and patron saint of exorcists. Okay, I think that's it for outside. Let's head back inside. Shovel. Found hanging in the back area of the mortuary. Heavy, bulky, and caked with dirt. Okay, did we find everything? I think we found everything. Right? Okay, let's see. Guess we're gonna ask him about Miriam. Is that who the grave was for? If you say so, she must have been important to have a plot here. That's the poor boy in the grave. Such a shame. I hadn't seen him while he was alive. I mean, why would he kill him? He has no motive. He has the means. He has everything except a motive. Interesting. Nerissa makes bouquets from a flower garden nearby. Visitors sometimes use them as offerings at the graves. I don't know anything about this. Nerissa handles all the scheduling and tells me when I need to do something. You say that's a lever? If it is, looks like a dog got to it. I usually only see the bodies when they're all cleaned up. Nerissa must have not finished with this one yet. Ooh. Nerissa, did you just lie?
I spent the remainder.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Ho ho ho. The body on the embalmment table has a clean incision that remains unsealed. How could you possibly claim that it's ready for a burial? Sister Ada, I truly tried my best, but I could not finish the preparations in time. For you see, I misplaced my surgical tool. Oh. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but I could not find it anywhere.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged in. After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
Yeah. It wasn't in the mortuary? That seems improbable. I thought the same, but I searched everywhere inside. It's just not here somewhere. Somehow. Okay. Try to finish embalming.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
How did you hope to finish the embalming without your tool? I started pulling the organs out with my hands and sealing the incisions with bandages. Ugh. It seemed better than sitting on my hands. I have a reputation to protect. Show me your true nature. Carnivore. That's super random. That's super random. What? Okay, I'm gonna go back to Abraham.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
This can't be my footprints. It's true that I went inside the mortuary after working outside, but that was before the rain.
When the grave was ready, I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches. I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Oh, so the rain starts about here. When she supposedly tried to Finish embalming. Doesn't look good for you, Nerissa. That's definitely Nerissa's. I've seen her using it at her table many times, getting the dead ready to rest. Can we not ask about this? It's not. Wait, what is happening? Oh. I suppose it cuts and injects and repairs. I've never used one of myself. Okay, let's ask now. Are you sure it wasn't an accident? It seems so strange to have a murder after all these years without any. Unfortunately, we're sure, Abraham. This was a demon's work. A pity. And the boy so young, too. I suppose it's part of Soph's will somehow. Notice that it's my family's old grave. We're not nobility anymore, but Abbey's grounds once belonged to my ancestors. It was all confiscated after my great-uncle Sergius was branded a heretic. Too bad for the rest of us. Maybe it's Soph's humor that I work in the land now as a laborer. Life has its ups and downs. It's a good job. The grass grows like weeds here. I use that to keep everything tidy and neat. The way a graveyard should be. I don't know what it is. Why would someone put this on a grave? Cool. That statue is always an ordeal to clean. 100-some odd years old already, as you probably know. Birds love making a mess on her head. I keep her sparkling clean almost out of spite. That's my shovel. It's built to last. Good workmanship. I usually leave it in the mortuary when I'm not using it. It doesn't do anything here. I regret lying, I'm an honest person, but I felt like I had to defend myself somehow from being accused. Okay, let's go to Nerissa
After
now.
Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket.
Without faith, I could never have persevered through those days. I am ever grateful to Soph and the kind souls of our church. Perhaps I enjoy meat too much, but everyone has a soft spot for something, don't they? Ask about Miriam. Mother Miriam was beloved by everyone at St. Walpurgas. I am honored to prepare her body for burial. Yeah. He was found in the grave, correct. How dreadful. So young too. I've never seen him prior to today. I mean, the only one who might have a motive to kill him is Augustine, because he knew the boy. These two actually didn't know the boy prior to today, most likely. But who knows, they're possessed by demons. I prepared this for visitors to the cemetery. You will be surprised at how often people forget to bring anything to honor their loved ones. This is a small branch in the cemetery, a quieter space for more wealthy patrons. There were no other burials scheduled for today, or even this week. That is Mother Miriam's embalmed liver. It seems rather deformed. What happened to it? My apologies, Sister Ada. I must have mishandled it. Organs are very delicate, you know. Due to the disturbance today, I haven't been able to focus properly. I don't even know what to say anymore.
But the truth is that the apprentice early this afternoon. The truth is, when I showed him the bouquet, he held. Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before mid-afternoon. After Abraham left,
I mean, the liver is here from the start.
Of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
Right? The liver is here from the start. before they arrived. Ah, Mother Miriam, this was the body I was preparing to the funeral tonight. A horrible way to die. At least her inner organs were intact. Yeah, so you can destroy them. Wait a second. Horrible way to die, at least her inner organs were intact. Why do you even care about that, you damn carnivore? You damn carnivore. Are you actually trying to eat it or something? But I don't know what to do with this information. I really don't know what to do with this information. Maybe she's a crazy carnivore and that's why she killed the boy, so he can also eat him later or something. I don't know. Found on the staircase between the mortuary and the grave. An Aether power tool for making incisions. Let's ask about this. I found your multi-tool, Nerissa. I am truly grateful, Sister Ada. Where did you find this? Where you left it? It was lying in the grass near the rear staircase. Impossible. Unless someone else has stolen it. Surely Abraham couldn't do such a thing. Yeah, that means you're the one. Can we perform an autopsy on the victim's body, Nerissa? I have your multi-tool here. Is it truly necessary, Sister Ada? The victim's cause of death is quite clearly from having his throat slit. There is something peculiar about that abdominal scar. Let's reopen it and see what lies within. As you wish, sister. Please give me a moment. Okay. There, it's ready. Good, let's have a closer look. What's this? His liver, it's loose. Is not attached to the rest of his organs at all. Huh? Found on the victim's body, detached from the rest of the organs. The liver is drained of blood and covered in some sort of chemical. It's an embalmed liver, you can tell by the patchy coloring. But I have no idea why it would be in a victim's body when he had only just died. Dude, this is getting interesting. Abraham takes extra care in maintaining the graves. I often spot him standing over it. It's Abraham's cycle for cutting back the grass. Any tools are stored in mortuary's back room, but I have no other reason to even touch them. Maybe she knows about the scanner. A scanner? I don't use anything like that for my work. Okay, so that means Augustine is gonna tell us about the scanner. May Saint Walpurga watch over all of us today. Abraham uses that to dig graves, but it's far too heavy for me to even carry. Really? You can't carry a damn shovel? It's an okay, we already talked about this one. I don't know, dude, this is getting really complicated.
Nerissa told me there'd be an urgent funeral in the
Tell
evening.
me about the liver. Whatever that is, it's embalmed already. That chemical smell is always around the mortuary.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor
First we ask about Miriam. I only knew her by reputation. Abbot Gregory spoke very highly of her. So you came for her funeral, but you didn't even know her? Interesting. Isaac was my apprentice. He had such potential. It breaks my heart to know it will never be reached. It's beautiful. Was it with Isaac? I had asked him to fetch me a bucket. Strange. Oh. So he thinks it was beautiful, but Isaac didn't? Yes, as you can see, Mother Miriam's funeral is scheduled here. I have come to pay my respects. The ceremony has rushed, but I promise the abbot I'll do right by her. This was in Mother Miriam's body? I've conducted several anatomical studies and I've never seen an organ mangled this way. The thing is, I think this is Mother Miriam's liver and this is, you know, Isaac's liver. Mother Miriam's remains? I'd heard the accident was unsightly. I hoped for a closed coffin ceremony. Footprints in the mortuary? Unfortunately, I know nothing about this. Perhaps they are Isaac's. My pet has not crossed one of these devices before. It must be a tool of some sort. But for what purpose, I can only guess. His face. It's as if he just fell asleep. But how could this be? He had no enemies. It is possible I was the intended target. Horrifying to consider. It's preserved in a remarkable condition. Marvelous. Craftsmanship too. A shame the family became disgraced. Oh, so maybe I don't know. Maybe Abraham killed him because he was mad because his family got disgraced or something. Nerissa is a cannibal or something. I don't know. That tall man with a beard, I think I saw him holding it at one point. That's my ether scanner. I use it to record images and parse them into glyphs. A good old Saint Walpurga. Are you quizzing me about your own patron saint? I'm asking what it means to you, Father. Very well. It honors her final victory against Lucifer in the Abyss Chapel. A true holy sight. For 111 years, no demons have been sighted in our world. Until today. Even if I had seen that, it looks far too heavy for me to have used it. Was this from Isaac's body? You must be mistaken, as it's entirely dried out and discolored. Okay, let's see.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely
This
observing
is some
and
bullshit. So,
admiring.
this ether scanner was here. But he didn't put it here, according to him. But this is his. So, contradict. Lies unmasked, let's go. But why would you lie about that? Okay, during your so-called stroll, did you drop this by any chance? I found it placed in front of a gravestone. What were you doing with it? This has nothing to do with Isaac's death. I shall be the judge of that. Tell me what you were doing. I was using that scanner to recover a lost hymn for Abbot Gregory to use in tonight's mass. For the Abbot who is Lucifer? The last record of it is etched upon one of these gravestones. What's happening?
Then I passed. It took me a little while, but I found it. The grave of Sergius.
How did you find the grave of Sergius? Are you certain it is the heretic's resting place? Also, Sergius was the ancestor of Abraham. I'm certain. It's identifiable by a unique set of etchings on the gravestone. It takes a scholar's eye to discern it's different from other gravestones. Okay.
I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone. It would take some time to decode the etchings. Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was tall, barrel-chested. I think he was the groundskeeper. Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
Hello. Hello, Abraham. What are you doing there? So this was... He said head towards benches and he was on the other side. He wasn't coming from here. Wait for a scanner.
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
Oh.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Isaac.
Okay, so it's either Abraham, the killer, or both of them. As I said the beginning, I think both of them are possessed. I think Abraham might have killed him, and she discovered the body and she ran because she didn't want to report it. Maybe something like that.
Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was
I think
tall,
this guy
barrel-chested.
Augustine is innocent for this one,
He was the groundskeeper.
but he might appear in the next case. Okay, please scanner observe Abraham. You're certain that he came from the rear fields rather than the mortuary? Correct.
Afterward,
What were you trying to decode? According to my research, Sergius was buried with the last record of the lost hymn of communion. Unfortunately, it's written in an ancient script that even I can't read. It was obscure even in Sergius' time.
when the sun was setting, I wandered.
So you instructed Isaac to meet you in the rear field at dusk? That was planned, yes. Expected to have found the grave and finished the decoding by this point. Isaac would meet me in the rear field with a bouquet, and we would attend the funeral. So he wasn't really here for Mother Miriam's burial. He wanted to decode this thing.
At sunset, I wandered.
Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave. Then why did we see Nerissa running in his story? If he says he didn't see anyone. That's kind of weird, but okay. Abraham. Actually no, go back to Augustine. And let's check his eye. Disappointment? Oh. Who did you disappoint, my dear friend? Isaac could have been an eminent scholar, if only he was more disciplined and rigorous in his thinking. I admit it sometimes. Felt he was wasting his gift. His death is even more of a waste, of course. Wait. Disappointment? Oh, he didn't disappoint anyone. Isaac disappointed him. Okay. This is going to be the end for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. You can ask me anything you want in the comments. I usually answer to everyone, or you can even recommend games you think I should try in the future. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified the moment I post a new episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.